actually had once before, but we discovered that we had missed the appropriate legal date for putting notice in by 2 days, and so even though we had a practice run before, we're going to do it again so that we make sure that we are completely legal in the eyes of the law. And so this has to do with White Bear Avenue, and Mr. Thompson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. Yes, as you mentioned, this is a new assessment hearing. Just a quick background, the original assessment hearing was held on July 26th. However, only 12 days notice was provided in the local newspaper, which was 2 days short of the 14-day requirement set forth by Minnesota statute. So there's a statute that calls that a new assessment hearing can be conducted, and that's why we're here tonight under the reassessment clause. And you as a council ordered this new assessment hearing on August 23rd. So for this meeting, everything is in conformance. Very similar to the last presentation, all the assessments are based on city policies in treating properties consistently. There's 49 commercial properties as part of the project to be assessed with the standard rates for the subject year. And the total proposed assessment is a little over $1.7 million. And the city did do benefit appraisals to each property, and those benefits accrued to those properties were showed to be well in excess of our assessment of roughly $2.65 million. Payment of assessments, people who have questions, I can speak to them after the hearing, but just briefly, they can be paid in full or they can be partially paid. If they are partially paid, at least 25% has to be paid to the city, and that payment, interest-free, can be made to the city within 30 days. Or if payment is made after that, they could make a payment to Ramsey County, or if nobody chooses to make any payment, they can let the assessment roll over onto the taxes as a special assessment over a period of 8 years at 5% interest. Really quickly to go through the properties that objected to the assessment. Compared to the last meeting, all of the same people have objected. There is only one additional assessment objection, and that is 1940 County Road D. I believe that's the old Circuit City property. And so there are a total of 12 properties with objections. So tonight the staff recommends adopting the assessment roll except for those who have objected. And then on October 11th, a recommendation would be made by staff to the council on those properties that have objected. So again, if anybody's here to object for the White Bear Avenue County Road D project, this is the last chance to object to the assessment. There are objection forms in the back. So with that, Mayor, I will turn it back to you, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right. First of all, are there any questions for Mr. Thompson? As he was just saying, and it seems a little redundant because we just, kind of did this a couple of weeks ago, but, as he mentioned, this would be the last opportunity for you to file an objection if you have one. And so by the time we get to the end of the public hearing, which I'm going to open in a moment, once I close the public hearing, then you have given up your right to object. And so this will be your last chance, and I'm suspecting, because we have no one who has signed up on the sheet, that it'll be a rather quick public hearing. And so I'm just trying to give you every warning that I possibly can. And so so I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. This would be your opportunity, even if you have not signed up, to come up to the podium and express your thoughts on the topic, or to say you want to file an objection. So the public hearing is now open. As I mentioned, no one had signed up on the sheet. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to the council? Now's where we have the pregnant pause while we try to wait. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the council? All right, then I'm going to close the public hearing. And so, with that, again, seems odd, we did this before, so we need to have a motion for the resolution which adopts the assessment roll.
I would move the adoption of the assessment roll for the White Bear Avenue County Road D Improvement City Project 08-13, with the exception of those who have filed objections.
Second.
All right. Ms. Juniman has made a motion, which was seconded by Mr. Copen, and that motion would accept the assessment roll other than, was there 13, Michael, currently then? 12? 12 would file objections. Okay. Other than those. Is there any further discussion necessary? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That was ayes all. That moves us into new business. And so the first thing that's under new business is the Metro Transit Park and Ride parking ramp. And this is having to do with the planned unit development, and it is at 1793 Beam Avenue. And it looks like our staff is getting themselves ready for their presentation.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Yes, as mentioned, Metro Transit is proposing to build a parking ramp at their Park and Ride location